So it loads up, just search for batch from AIMMS, batch from CSV or batch from AIMMS, install it from GitHub. There's all the readmes. So firstly, batch from AIMMS, what I'll talk you through it. So you've got all these, and basically you wire them up to the relevant node in your workflow, whatever workflow that is. And there's a variety of different ways you can deal with that. The shot ID is the key ID for the databases, the shots database. The first thing is you'd actually direct it to where your shots database is by adding that in there. Should work with Windows or Linux. I don't know about OS X, I don't use it, but maybe someone can let me know if it works or what it needs, and I'll look into that. And then you give it a text list of all your shot IDs that you want to run through the process. And once you're ready with that, 13 there, you just set 13 there and start it running, and it'll just go through them. What I do recommend doing with this, which I do now anyway, is rather than adding in switches, put in memory cleanup, and I use these ones and they work very well for me. And put them at the very end of each sampler stage, or just before it's going out after the decode. The reason it's worth putting a show any field in here, so that when this saves out, you have this information stored, because if you don't, it won't show you what information was used to make your image or video when the time comes. Audio VO, this is actual audio file location, so the full file path to audio files for dialogue. You also have a dialogue string there, which, as you can see, I do use, and without inverted commas. Though sometimes if I'm using Vibe Voice, I will put in the number of the speaker if I'm using multi voices in Vibe Voice, but it sort of depends. And I tend now to often put it in the actual video prompt and drive it from there, and then, but it really depends how you want to work with it. If you've got the audio files saved, they'd be saved in the VO voiceover section in here. What I sometimes do is merge 3 of these in a join string with a comma delimiter. You can't see an entry there, but I'll use the color scheme. Scene context is made up of time of day, location, country, and year. So it will automatically merge those together. So I can then combine it further with the color scheme if I have it, and with in this case, the image prompt, if I have it. So if I'm making an image, that's the way I do it, to make use of all the text fields that are for image creation. Image prompt, obvious. Image negative is the negative prompt. Video prompt is obvious. Video negative is obvious. You can see it there, and they are all pulled again from the same name field here. The one confusing one, which I'm not sure if I'm going to keep, because personally I don't use it, and it might, it's using up real estate, is the LoRa. You can actually plug these directly into a LoRa node. I'm starting to think these are redundant for this, but I'll look at it in the future. There might be better fields to put in there. Go row index. I wasn't sure if that'd be useful for someone. That's basically the shot ID. Shot name, I use that for naming the output. As you can see here, add in an extra string. So again, I use the KJ nodes join string multi. What was I saying about video file? Yeah, you can see the video file here. Once I come to this workflow where I'm doing V2V, then I need that first video file that I've already created with a batch run here. And that's what that's for. And there's only one of those. So how I tend to work in AIMMS with it, but it'll be the starred version it pulls. So whichever of these is starred, the main one. So if I want to, in this case, you can see the first video I made of this one was 832.48448, and then the next one, when it goes through the process, final out will be video 2 at the final stage. So if I was wanting to redo the original, I'd star that. And then that's the one there, and that's the one that's going to get pulled. The last thing to mention is reset index. I might change the way this works. I've had to put a little note here. It does work, but it's a little bit quirky. So what I have to do is set it to false, set that to 1, give it 1 run, cancel it, and then set it to true, and then that will start it over, which is That's fiddly, and it wasn't supposed to do that. So I've got to look at the code, but I haven't got any more time on this. So I'm just going to leave the note there for now and come back to it later. But yeah, so that is basically to reset your index back to the start. And